unique builds, a lot of creative stuff, but they still have. I mean, you have to have a standard game because if you never do a standard game, people will just they'll start to do weird stuff to try to take advantage of you doing weird stuff. So you always want to do a standard game so that they can't like metagame you and try to kind of just do these weird build order advantages. Like even if you watch Cats play, right? Cats has a lot of unique openings, a lot of cool stuff, but he'll also play your very, very standard, just like you'd see any top player play type of game as well. You know, he mixes everything in there. Here we go. Go Platinum Navi Power. Minato's referencing the fact that currently I think he's Platinum on the European server. But I think that's because he mostly plays Korea. Minato is very, very good. I mean, I've already said this. Quarterfinals in their match against MOI, he took out Stardust. Just now we saw him dismantle Night End. This Minato guy is legit. Let's see what he does. Of course, I mean, of course he's gonna hatchery first. It's Zerg versus Terran. On Naama's end, what is Naama gonna do? Is he gonna go command center first to build favored by Menya Terran? What are you gonna do, Naama? We'll find out. Yeah, he's going command center first. There we go. Awesome. That's my favorite build. And look at this, Minato. This drone. He sent one drone out. Sorry, and it was checking around for proxy barracks. So, really wanting to be on top of not losing any proxy stuff. And then he's going to check his opponent's space. So when he sees his opponent's going command center first, a lot of Zergs will react by going a third hatchery before. I assume he saw that, right? Yeah, he saw it. A lot of Zergs will react by going a third hatchery before spawning pool. We'll see if Minato is one of them. But that's one of the big reasons to drone scout. If you think about it, you drone scout for two things. One is to spot proxy barracks. And here's actually a cool thing a lot of people don't know. The reason why you want to spot the proxy barracks isn't because you're going to change your build when you see them so much. It's more because if you can, to try to kill the SCVs before they finish building them. Right? That's why you want to spot the proxy barracks. Then a secondary thing is to scout the Terran to know, is he going command center first or not? And then if he's not, did he go gas first for like a super fast factory? You have to watch out for really fast Hellions or not. Those are the two things you want to consider. So the fact that those aren't happening means that Minato is pretty happy right now. And there we go, the third hatchery, of course, before the spawning pool. Something I mentioned a lot of Zergs do when they scout that command center first. Meanwhile, Naama followed the command center first with the barracks and then the gas. He's going to get a few Marines. Very quickly building a bunker. We're going to take no chances. You know, if he spotted, if he went to see the third base first, right, he wouldn't have gotten a bunker. But he just went straight to the natural and then main. And then when he saw the spawning pool wasn't done yet, he's like, oh, I didn't really need this. And he just took the CV off. I mean, it's that simple, right? And you can resume building it later, but right now he's like, you know what? I can get like 4 more mineral trips now, and a basic concept in pretty much any game 3 or life in general is anything now is better than anything later, right? You'd rather have 5 minerals now than 5 minerals 30 seconds from now, because at the worst case, you just hold on to those 5 minerals for 30 seconds and it's the same. It's never going to be worse, right? But it could be you've got a way to use those 5 minerals that they're worth even more as the game goes on. So, we do have factory coming up, barracks over here. And what do we have over here? Just more walls coming up for the Terran. Hold on a second, I'm getting some weird audio things going on. I just hear, I think it's just something we'll take care of in a second. But anyways, we do have the starport going up, and he's going reactor Hellions. So he's going to get a few Hellions. He may stop at like 4 to 6 and get some Widow Mines, but I think we are going to see just some Hellion harass, and then he's going for the Banshee, which is something that Terran is starting to come back a bit. There's for a while in Heart of the Storm, Terran's like never went Banshee against Zerg. I still kind of like it. I like it with a fast third and a double eBay as well, because one of the best aspects of the Banshee, yes, maybe you can do a lot of damage. And you can always do some damage. You can always like kill a drone and run away. Or more like kill 4 drones and run away. If your Banshee control is good, you can always get some damage done. But what's almost even bigger than the damage you do with the Banshee, if he's going Cloak, he can get even more done, is the fact that you're automatically safe from every all-in Zerg can do. Like, it's not like, oh, make a Banshee automatically win, but you're in a situation where if you play it well, you have an advantage against pretty much every early all-in. Just because, Banings are 2-shot by Banshees. Roaches will go down pretty quick as well, and of course nothing can shoot the Banshee so they can get across the map at the hatchery tech. So here come in the Hellions. Oh, this could be a good shot. Nice drone movements though, actually. Look at that. Minato's pulling those drones to always stay kind of I guess you'd say parallel to where the Hellions are at. And that way you're not able to line them up. And that was actually very impressive. It was still a great move for Naama, getting a good number of kills. In fact, he got 5 workers killed. But with 4 Hellions and only a Queen there to defend, it could have been much, much worse. But meanwhile, Minato looks like he's going for a very aggressive build behind this, rallying in tons of speedings and banings. And this is where the Banshee really looks good. He sees this attack coming. The Hellions can try to intercept the speedlings. Meanwhile, Spore Crawler is being made back for defense. The wall is not up. Is there a wall in the main? He raises it. This depot could be focused down, but the Hellions are there to help defend. Great defense so far by Naama, and Minato has to retreat. No chance to break that. With that many Hellions there and a Banshee, this attack is foiled before it could even begin. Now, he did buy time to spread creep a bit. He bought time to get some Spore Crawlers up. And he only made a few Roaches. Most of it was Speedings, which are a little bit cheaper. But it's still a great game so far for Naama. If you look at it so far, trying to get some more damage on the Hellions. There goes the cloak on the Banshee. Meanwhile, Hellions trying to be surrounded here. Can he get the surround? Yes, he gets one of them. He gets the second one. Now there's only 4, and they're looping back, actually. Now there's only 3. Those should be caught. Meanwhile, the Banshee is forced back. The Spore Crawler there doing a great job in defense. Just killing the Roaches. Hellions were caught and run down. Another Banshee being built wants to stay safe. Meanwhile, finishing up the wall. Finishing up the wall. And look at this. Minato's not done. Where are those Banshees? They're coming back. They could actually take out a lot of these Banelings. That's their goal right now, is get rid of all the Banelings, or as many as possible. I think Naama is actually pretty happy with this. Banshee's very good against Baneling-based attacks, focusing those Banelings down. Of course, enough coming here, taking down the depots, but there's not enough to take down the bunker. And again, Minato forced back. This is why, especially if you're going mech anyway, like Naama's going mech, which is awesome. I haven't seen mech in TVZ for a while. It's kind of unfortunate the game's been so kind of weird and aggressive, but because I would like to see him play mech against in a more normal macro game. But Banshees coincide so well with mech because it's actually funny. You almost have more gas early game with mech to afford to put into Banshees, because you don't need to get double E-base super fast double upgrades. You don't need to get super fast stim and combat shield, and you don't need to, and of course you won't be getting medevacs as well going bio. So there's a lot of these things that just make Banshees slow down the bio progression, whereas mech, they don't slow down the progression. They keep you safe from all those early game shenanigans. Banshees versus Queens. 1 Banshee goes down. 1 Queen barely surviving. 2 Banshees go down. Now it's 1-on-1. 1-on-1, a Banshee does beat a Queen. But it's fairly close, and if reinforcements come, he would be in trouble. Now, Minato is going for Roach Hydra. I think he's identified the fact that there is mech in play. In fact, if you can see this overlord, they haven't spotted everything yet, but they've seen a lack of Marines. They've seen 3 Banshees, so Brad has a good idea what's going on. He's going for speed Roaches and speed Banelings. So this could be a follow-up attack. He could be really hell-bent on denying a 3rd base from Naama, but remember I talked about Naama does these crazy timings? Look at this. Where's the 3rd command center from Naama? It's not existent, because Naama is not going for a 3rd command center. He's going for a Thor Hellion push. So it's going to be a pretty interesting mech timing. Now, I'm not sure how big a fan I am of a Thor Hellion push. Ooh, at least against me, you see this. You see this many Speedings? I mean, of course, the Hellions can kill the Speedings, right? But the Speedings can easily turn into Banelings. And Roach Baning is actually very good against any type of early push. It's like the dominant early game unit composition. Yeah, then the Roaches keep the Hellions at bay, and the Banings can run in there. In fact, is he going to try to cut off the Hellions? He's going to go for it. Can he get a trap? There he does. Oh, no. Disastrous for Naama, losing all those Hellions. And Minato is not done. He's continuing to push forward. If they're going to be, oh no, he's not going to push forward against 2 tanks. And now Naama is totally changing his tune. He might resume pro SCV production as well. Maybe not. He's got a decent number. But you can see he immediately built a 3rd command center once the Hellions were surrounded. He's like, 8 less Hellions, I can't make this work. And he's right. He's not going to make the 2 base timing work anymore. Not after a blow like losing all those Hellions. But doesn't mean the game's over. I mean, Minato has been on fairly low economy, right? Only 57 drones. So even though Naama is taking a very late 3rd command center, it's kind of okay. It's going to be kind of equalized to an interesting macro game. We do see Minato going for that Hydra speed upgrade. Did he ever get the range? He hasn't got it because he's getting speed before range, which is probably better against someone you worry about dealing dropships more and running stuff down. That was a nice little Hellion run by it. That brings the workers killed count up to 17 for Naama. 11 drones in production help replace some of those that were lost. There's a large roach force now, and Naama spotted it. Oh, these Thors got to be careful. Run, Thors! Run! A very overextended pair of Thors here. The roaches are coming in. Look at that. 2-shot into 1 Thor backing up. He doesn't want to go up a ramp when there's going to be siege tanks and whatnot, but got to be careful with Thors. They're so expensive. You do not want to risk losing those units. Now, it could say, okay, Minato, he sees his opponents going for the 3rd base. He'd go ahead and take a 4th and a 5th. Meanwhile, another Hellion run by here in the natural. More drones being absolutely roasted here. Blue Flame Hellion so effective against workers. Kill count was at 17 workers. Now it's at the 27, and he's not even done yet. More and more drones coming down. Meanwhile, the main attack is coming in here. 4 auto turrets being put down, 3 Thors, a cluster of siege tanks at 3rd base. Drones being pulled, they're being barbecued. Here come the Banelings. He should be going for the siege tanks. Yeah, get all those siege tanks. You know, Baneling's not great against tanks, but they're clumped up. They're good against everything. And look at that, like I said, Roach Baneling's so good in the mid-game against these kind of mid-sized pushes because of the overwhelming numbers of roaches you can get. But while Naama took a huge blow in that battle, keep in mind the worker count. We're up to 46 drones killed. All Naama has to do is defend. He's got a much greater economy. And with the Banshees here, no problem defending. Another Hellion run by the natural. And meanwhile, and I mean, this is just brutal. Minato is down to 78 supply. And I don't even know what he can, I mean, he's got like 33 drones against 58 SCVs and 3 orbital command centers. I mean, he's got a small Roach Hydra force, but against, I mean, the mech army is just being reproduced fairly quickly. People say you lose one army of mech, you lose the game. Well, we saw Naama lose that giant mech army, but fortunately, Minato had lost 46 drones, so they both took massive blows in this game, but I think Minato took the worst blow. Even more drones coming down, and Naama can afford almost any trade he wants at this point, as long as he gets something for the units he's throwing away here. Taking a look at upgrades, we see 2 attack for the mech. The Roach Hydra is just at 1 attack, 0 armor. Pushing in here. The siege tank spread is good. I don't see him. You know, he's got to try to deny a 3rd base. He's too far behind in economy otherwise. And you know, the tanks are almost overly spread. Just a bit, perhaps. A little bit overly spread, not able to quite all get into the action when he wants them to. But, oh, the Widowmine goes up in the Overseers. That's again good for Minato. And see, actually, he's kind of making his work a bit. Continuing to press in here with Hydras and Roaches. Oh no, 2 more tanks and Hellbats coming down. That's going to force him back. But this 3rd base is vulnerable. Oh, if you can get the Raven, that'd be nice. The 3rd base is vulnerable. I guess he's worried about Hellions. And oh, another Hellion run by here in the main. Sorry, I missed that, guys. That brings it to worker kill was at 46, 40. Oh, 77. Holy moly. Wait, where are all the drones at? There's 11 drones. There's 11 drones against 60 SCVs. Wow. Well, the good news is Minato's not going to mine out his bases anytime soon. Right? That's the good news. He's trying to re-drone up, but he doesn't have the drone count to actually afford to re-drone up. That sucks. Like, what does he do from here? Meanwhile, Naama playing safe, just cranking out units like a maniac. His economy is going strong. More add-ons being added on to these factories. Continuing his path of upgrades, his level 3 attack, even getting a Raven added on as well. A very small force of Hydralisks and Roaches trying to figure out what damage they can do, but at some point Naama's going to decide to just move out. He's not 100% sure how weak his opponent is. He doesn't know there's only 10 drones. He might have assumed, oh, there's 20 more in production once they did that kind of damage. So, or in fact, we're at 22 drones now against 60, so he's starting to catch up. Maybe when Naama maxes out, Minato will be up to like 35, 40 drones. And then he can think about getting an attack upgrade. That could be his ambition this game. Spreading creep on these expansions is always a nice move to keep an eye on things. Even if there's rocks, why not spread creep there as well? Naama being very safe here, but I mean, this is more of a game where it's been so weird. Both, like, Naama lost a huge mech army, but Minato's lost all the workers. Pretty much all the workers. It's kind of a weird situation because you don't know exactly where your opponent's at. And in a normal game, you can always say, oh, my opponent's roughly this strong. He has roughly this amount of units. But while Naama could just win the game any time, right? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a done game. From his position, well, I mean, if you ever had games against Zerg, you've had those games you like kill all the drones, but the Zerg happen to have, you know, they have enough minerals in the bank, enough larvae that they instantly rebuild them all. And then, yeah, your killing the drones move was great, but it wasn't an instant, oh, the game's automatically over, because they were able to rebuild them fast, and maybe if you attack hastily with a small, scrappy tank Hellion army, and you're able to rebuild a giant roach force, you get your army squashed again, and then they're back in the game. So, Naama being safe here, just because he's not 100% sure exactly what his opponent's up to. An infestation bit from Minato, a very smart move, because he does need to work his way up to Swarm Hosts or Infestors. He needs something more cost-efficient than Roach Hydra at some point. So, right now he's surviving by hoping that Naama doesn't attack, but at some point he's going to need to get something more cost-efficient. Looks like he might be going for Vipers really fast to the Hive there, but Naama is nearing max out. When is he going to go for the big mech push? No fourth base from Naama, so I think we're definitely going to see him attack. Maybe right when the +3 weapons finishes, he'll start moving out. There he goes. 3 Ravens, a couple Thors, a lot of Hellbats, a good number of tanks. And he does not need to even siege up. Very just devastating army here. Even some units here clearing out, making sure the overworlds aren't spewing creep everywhere. Pushing forward on the creep, being very methodical about it. Third base from Minato is abandoned. Fourth base is on the way. So auto turrets burned down. Good to know. Good to learn stuff. Hellbat's destroying the Spore Crawler. Continued mech push. He's just unsieging everything, pushing it now. He scans, sees the Zerg army, says, that's it? That's all you've got? What have I been doing? Why didn't I win this game earlier? Looking to engage it. He doesn't even need siege mode, but he's going to use it anyway. Excuse me. PDD goes down. Using PDDs as opposed to Hunter Seeker missile, a little bit more reliable. Defense better than offense when you're trying to buy time to get tanks sieged up. Moving on, Minato needs to defend his base. Is he going for the engagement? No, just going to get a couple shots off onto Hellbats and back up. But as Naama continues to push in, can Minato back up even more? At some point, he's got to make his stand. Is it going to be right here, right now? The Zerg Swarm says, we may be down, but we are not quite yet beaten. Here comes a charge. Drones leading. No, it's a fake charge. It was a fake charge. Wait, now it goes. Charge, men! Charge! And there's so many tanks just blasting. Hellbats right into the bottom portion. The top portion just, I mean, it was a massacre there. Minato had no chance. The Zerg army was brave. Minato told them, we will attack, and we will succeed. And they believed him. They attacked. But they did not succeed. They did not succeed. They got obliterated by a very scary line of tanks. And that's going to put Naama up 1-0. And remember, Fnatic is up 2-1 in this match. So if Naama wins the game 2, it's over. Fnatic wins 3-1. Boom. Done with the semifinals. We're going to see Mouse Sports and Fnatic in the finals when that happens. I think the finals are next week. But Minato, this is the guy that beat Stardust. This is the guy that had a dominating 2-0 performance against Niden. just about an hour ago. He definitely has a lot in store. We're going to see it. Coming up next is going to be Minato versus Naama, game number 2.